My switch to an EV was not just about Lucid, but about a switch to sustainable mobility. So with that in mind, I'm starting a series where I have conversations with other EV owners to talk to them about their perspective on owning and driving electric vehicles. All right, so I'm here talking with Amir Abdalla. I got to know Amir through a friend of mine, Arif. So Arif, thanks for connecting us. And Amir is a proud new owner of this beautiful Tesla Model Y. So how long have you had this Model Y?
A little bit less than 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were you driving before this?
Chevy Volt.
Chevy Volt,
Yeah,
okay.
2015.
All right, so did you have that Chevy Volt new?
No, actually I bought it. I was maybe 2-3 years old.
Okay.
It was one of those lease returns.
Oh yeah,
mileage.
yeah. Okay.
It was great car and everything. I just I love the idea that you can charge it, go on small trips, charge, and not having to use gas, and you have the option of gas when you need to.
Yeah.
But I just started having a little bit too many issues. Like every time I had to go to the dealer, it's even though it was under warranty and all this, every repair was anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000.
Okay.
So when the warranty went out, I started reconsidering keeping the car.
Okay. So now, Volt is a plug-in hybrid, right?
It is a plug-in hybrid.
So what were some of the deciding factors to go from a plug-in hybrid to a fully electric car versus to another plug-in hybrid?
Well, the story I tell people that I accidentally tripped and fell on my phone and ordered the car, but actually I wanted it. I do have 2 other cars that are gasoline, so I thought when it comes to worst, when I can't charge it or I need a gas vehicle, I just use one of the other vehicles.
Okay.
I always had this idea that, you know, it's like the Chevy Volt, I have to charge it after every trip.
Yeah.
Even though Volt was give you 30 miles per charge.
Okay.
I was charging it when I get to work, right after I get from work.
Yeah.
So that's the same idea I had about electric vehicles.
Okay.
But actually I was amazed. I only charge this maybe once a week.
Yep.
And I charge it at home. Charging station, the supercharging stations are amazing.
Okay.
I thought it would take a few hours. It actually take about anywhere between 15 to 45 minutes to charge it to 90%.
Yeah.
So
okay.
not complaining. I'm happy so far.
Yeah. So what kind of Model Y is this? Is this a long range or performance?
This is the long range.
Okay.
When I ordered it, it was the only one. Well, it was the long range and the performance.
Okay.
The only 2 available.
Okay.
I really don't do street racing, so I just went with the long range.
You're not planning on hitting a track anytime soon?
Oh, well, sometimes I have to teach BMWs, you know, to know their place every once in a while, but I don't even need the other one for that. I'm happy with this one.
So why did you go with a Tesla as opposed to, did you look at any other EVs, or did you just kind of have your mind made up, I'm going with a Tesla, or what?
Well, I really wanted a bigger SUV. I have a Suburban that I owned for like almost 20 years.
Okay.
And I was going for the Lexus GX.
Okay.
But what I didn't like is the idea that I'm gonna have to spend gas on a 8-cylinder or a 6-cylinder every day just to get to work. So it will be costly to keep it.
Yeah.
On top of that, the MSRP that they have online is completely different when you get to the dealer, including the electric vehicles that I was looking at. I was looking at the Ioniq, Hyundai
Ioniq 5.
Yes, and it was saying MSRP of 50,000, and I go to the dealer, the cheapest I found on the lot is like 65.
Yep.
So I love about the Tesla is whichever price you had online was the price you were paying.
Yep.
So I placed the order and I didn't pay $1 more than what I was expecting.
Okay. So that kind of leads into my next question. So what was the process like buying the vehicle? You just went online?
Yeah, super easy. It's I went online, I spent like $250 just to place the order.
Yep.
And it took a while. I placed the order in January, I got it in April.
Okay.
But during that time, they will keep you updated when the date changes, or they will let you know when it's close to being ready.
Yeah.
And you can do everything online. You can pay the down payment, apply for the loan, get the insurance through them.
Okay.
All
yeah.
of that is on the app.
Yeah. Nice.
It's just make it everything smooth. When I went to the dealer, I walked in there, just signed 2 pieces of paper.
Yeah.
10 minutes, I was out with my car.
Okay. Did you, before you bought it, did you take it for a test drive at all, or did you just had
No.
you already been in one, or how?
I've been. I have one of my friends at the dojo. He has a Model 3 2018.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I took it for a test drive, and that was after I placed the order.
Okay. All right.
So
All right.
I took it for a test drive. I was amazed by the power that I
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go inside the car and let's talk in there.
Okay.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
What are the kind of settings that you have in here that you can play around with?
Well, anything that gets to do with the vehicle, it's on the bottom left corner right here.
Okay.
You'll click on the car and it will give you everything that you need to do. You can change your mirrors, child lock doors,
Okay.
lock the windows, open the glove box. Same thing with the windshield wipers. You can always turn it on and off or put it on auto.
Okay.
Has the recording in the Sentry mode. The Sentry mode, I never use it, but it's a good idea if you park outside all the time.
Okay.
It's give you access to the vehicle anytime you want.
Yep.
From the app. You can, let's say if somebody get close, it will notify them that they are being recorded and everything. The problem with that setting, I heard it takes deplete the battery by 10% every day.
Okay.
So since I park inside my garage, I really don't need to use it.
And when you're at work, are you inside of a garage or anything? Or
Well,
outside?
when you're at work, this vehicle have plenty of cameras, so I will be outside. But if somebody taps into it, it will record.
Oh,
And
okay.
Yeah.
So Sentry mode is, how is that different than you're saying? So if somebody taps your car, it'll record that. What is Sentry mode then?
Sentry mode, they don't even have to touch the vehicle just to
Okay.
get close to it.
It's just always recording.
Correct. Well, it's have a sensor. The sensors on the vehicle
Yeah.
will send somebody close by and just give them notification
I got you.
that you're being watched. And actually, if you have the vehicle on and the vehicle is off, and they pass by it and they look inside, it will show like a red eye on the screen to let them know you're being watched.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
But it will record everything, and but if you don't want it, again, if the only downside to it, it'll actually deplete the battery because the cameras are running all,
I got
the
you.
sensors
I
are
got you.
running all
Yep.
the time. Other than that, I have the car recording set to, if I tap the horn, it will start recording right away. So let's
Okay.
say if somebody cuts you off,
Yeah.
of course you have the sensors when you slam on the brake or you really hard or you get really close, somebody get close to hitting you or
Yeah.
hits you, start recording. But also if you tap the horn, let's say if you want to record a fire going by or an accident, you just tap the horn and it will record that for you.
Okay. So when you buy a Tesla, you can add on the enhanced autopilot or FSD. Did
Correct.
you add on any of that?
I did not know.
And why? And why?
Well, they were too expensive.
Okay.
There was an option. They didn't tell you this when you buy it, so that's why a lot of people pay for it
Yeah.
when they buy the vehicle. But you can actually lease it
Yeah.
or just make payments,
Right.
and you can cancel anytime.
Right.
So I thought if I have a longer commute or if I use my vehicle for work every day, yeah, I'll probably use that feature.
Okay.
But if this vehicle is more like for me taking the kids
Okay.
for over the weekend or just running quick errands and
Okay.
stuff. So, but yeah, definitely if I was working maybe 100 miles away and don't want to deal with the traffic, I would have used that feature. But at the same time, the cruise control feature I think I'm good with it.
Okay.
All I have to do is just put it when I'm on the freeway, put on cruise control. It will keep the distance between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you.
Mhm.
If they stop, they will stop. So it make everything smooth. It just doesn't go around the vehicles or turn on the streets and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Um, so one other thing that you can do is it comes with like standard connectivity, but you can upgrade to premium connectivity. Did you do that?
Well, I get the standard and the annual connectivity, the standard one, because I think the only difference that I seen was maybe the radio stations are commercial free.
Yeah.
Again, if I was using this for long distance all the time, I'll probably go with the premium just to keep myself entertained.
Okay.
But no, actually, as long as Netflix works for the kids, we are good. That's the best thing about this vehicle. When you have to stop to charge it outside, you can always play Netflix, Hulu, Disney, all of those apps, and keep yourself entertained for those 15-20 minutes.
So that was going to be one of my questions. I was going to ask you if you use any of those, and like you do.
Netflix, definitely. We use it. Actually, before I got this vehicle, I was thinking about keeping my electric skateboard in the back. I thought it will take hours to charge. So I had the skateboard in the back, plugged it in. I was planning to ride the skateboard home because it's half a mile away, then just come back when it's fully charged. But when I plugged it in, it said, oh, it'll be charged in like 35 minutes. So I ended up just putting Netflix and just chilled in the car for a little bit.
Nice. So have you found anything that you don't like about the car?
So far, one of those safety features. It's not bad, but it gets annoying. Let's say if you're driving on the freeway and you have your cruise control going on, and a car from one of the lanes next to you kind of merge a little bit on the line. This vehicle have the safety where it will slow completely down, thinking that the car might just get in front of you. And when you're just driving and this happens and everybody not paying, especially when the kid's sitting in the back, they start blaming you because they think you're the one that pushed the brakes. It's but I understand the safety feature, but it can get a little annoying.
I've heard pros and cons about the complete minimalist design, like the fact that there's no dashboard kind of in front of you. Everything's on this screen. So for example, when you're driving and you want to turn left, you get the blind spot camera, but it's on the screen to your right.
Correct.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm still old school. I still use my mirrors. I look over my shoulder when I turn. But I never had a problem with that. The cameras, you can always change the position of them, but I know, if you're turning left, you can't have it on this side. But personally, I like how simple it is. It's not too many buttons to push. Everything, everybody know how to use a tablet these days, so that's even easier than an Android or an Apple tablet.
Right. So how have you adjusted to your steering wheel, and you have those two knobs on the steering wheel, and they're kind of multi-function, if I understand right. So depending on what screen you're on, they can do different things, like turn your signals, or I don't know, turn up the volume, or whatever they might be. Have you adjusted to kind of how those work?
Yes. Well, the left one is usually the music. You can turn up the volume. You can skip, go back. The right one is more like for it's like the voice command. You push it down, you can ask for directions. You can go right and left to adjust the distance. When you cruise control, you can adjust the distance to keep the safety distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. You can increase it to 6 or down to 2. And you can always change those. The they are adjustable. You can just go on the setting, and if you want the volume and all of this, the music on this side, you can change that.
Okay.
So it's not one of those things that are set on stone. It's,
Okay.
They are adjustable.
Now, does the car come with, can you use your phone as your key?
Yes, that's how well, they give you 2 key cards. It's like, it looked like something you put in your wallet. It looked like a Visa card.
Okay.
And as long as you can always keep that in your vehicle or in your wallet, and you can set it up to be either to have full operation of the vehicle, or if you want to use it as a valet card, where if you, let's say, if you go into a restaurant, you can give it to the valet.
Yeah.
They can only park it, but they can't access like the front or the glove compartment.
Yeah.
All of
Okay.
that stuff.
Okay.
Or you can have it as your main key, where you can just use it to drive everywhere and have full access to the vehicle.
Okay.
For me, I use my phone, and I have the key card when I go to somewhere where I have to give it to the valet.
Okay. Well, we ran into a little bit of technical difficulty, so we had to end it right there. But Amir and I, we kept talking inside his Model Y, and he took me for a little drive, and he really loves his car. So I hope you still got a little something out of it. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you later.